I'm standing in the doorway where the morning meets the hall, watching how the dust motes dance and how the shadows fall. You haven't packed your heavy coat, you left it on the hook, like a bookmark in a chapter of a half-finished book. There's no shouting in the kitchen, no breaking of the glass, just the quiet, heavy rhythm of the minutes as they pass. It's a tender goodbye, a soft-spoken end, the breaking of a lover and the losing of a friend. No storm in the distance, no fire in the sky, just the pulling of a thread and a low, steady sigh. It's the kindest of hurts, it's a beautiful lie, falling to pieces in a tender goodbye. I reached out for your shoulder and I felt the fabric give to the version of the future that we're not gonna live. You didn't slam the door behind you, closed it with a click, while the silence in the hallway started growing fast and thick. Now I'm staring at my coffee as it's turning into stone, learning how it feels to be so gently left alone. Sometimes the rage is easier, the heat is what you need to cauterize the places where the memories start to bleed. But you held me like a secret and you kissed me like a prayer before you stepped out of the light and into empty air. No, I hate you. No, wait. Just the closing of a lock and the swing of a gate. So quiet, so dry, just a tender goodbye. The fireplace is cold now, just a pile of gray and white. A skeleton of everything that kept us through the night. I'm sitting on the rug where we used to watch it dance, before the sparks grew weary and we ran out of a chance. The smell of cedars lingering, a ghost inside the wood, reminding me of always and the way we understood. Now it's just the after, it's the season of the smoke, the heavy silver silence that followed when we broke. No more heat to hold us, no more golden glow, just the drifting of the ashes in a house that's full of snow. We were a wildfire, we were a hurricane, but there's nothing after the flame. I'm stirring up the charcoal with a rusted iron rod. Looking for a flicker or a sign from a silent God. But the air is thin and frozen, and the chimney's pulling tight, swallowing the memories of the way we used to lie. You took the matchbook with you, and you took the kerosene, and left me in the coldest dark that I have ever seen. They say that from the ashes something new is bound to grow, but they don't see the blackness that's buried in the glow. It's hard to build a future on a foundation of soup, with the weight of every never pressing down beneath my foot. No more burning, no more light, just the smell of the smoke in the middle of the night going out. Cold and gray, after the flame. Just the ash, left behind. I'm standing on the ridge where the purple meets the black, waiting for a morning that's never coming back. The stars are getting tired, they're blinking out of view, and I'm shivering in the color of the memory of you. We had the horizon, we had the open sky, but the light hit a wall before it reached the eye. It was almost a sunrise, almost a goal, a story of warmth that was never quite told. We were right on the edge of the dark and the day, but the clouds moved in and the light turned away. Just a glimmer of amber, a hint of the blue, almost a sunrise, before I lost you. I can see the silhouette of the trees against the hill, but the world is staying frozen and the air is staying still. We were so close to breaking the heavy cold night, to waking up together in a wash of yellow light. But the clock stopped ticking at 4 in the morning, a quiet kind of ending without any warning. Is it harder to stay in the pitch black dark, or to see the first flicker of a dying spark, to know that the sun was just under the line before you decided you weren't gonna be mine? No heat on the floor, just the grayest of shadows at my front door. It was almost a sunrise, but the day never came. Almost. I'm walking through the garden we planted in the spring, tugging at the memory of a gold and silver ring. The soil is still dark where we knelt on the ground, but the air is too heavy for a welcoming sound. I see the green stems pushing up through the dirt, a cruel little beauty that's starting to hurt. We were almost in bloom, almost a rose, the kind of a story that everyone knows. The buds were all swelling, the colors were near, but the frost hit the valley and the winter is here. Just a season away from the sweet and the red. Now I'm tending to petals that are already dead. Yeah, we were almost in bloom. Checking the forecast, but the clouds are all gray, and I'm watching the sunlight just wither away. You left before the opening, before the first scent, and I'm left with the maybe and the wherever you went. It's a garden of almost, a field of not quite, frozen in the middle of a cold April night. Is it worse to have withered before you could show, to have all of that promise with nowhere to go? I'm standing with the shears in my shaking right hand, looking at the harvest that we never quite planned. No flower, no fragrance, just the green turning brown, and the weight of the sky as it's coming on down. We were so close, almost in bloom, just almost, almost. The heater running, but the air is getting thin. I can't find the places where the warmth used to begin. I'm looking at the calendar, a page I haven't turned, staring at the bridges that we already burned. Your coffee cup is sitting where you left it on I no longer understand. Now it's cold like yesterday, cold like the rain, the kind of a winter that lives in the vein. I thought that the morning would bring a new light, but I'm still shivering from the middle of the night. No matter the season, no matter the way, it's always just a bitter, broken, cold light. Yesterday, the frost is making patterns on the window of our room, a skeletal reminder of a love that used to bloom. I reached across the mattress, but the sheets are stiff and white, like a field of fallen snow in the dead of July light. You took the only fire when you walked out of the door, and I don't think I'll ever feel the summer anymore. They say that time is healing, that the ice is gonna melt, but they don't know the hollow that the leaving of you dealt. I'm a statue in the hallway, I'm a ghost inside the hall, waiting for a thaw that isn't coming here at all. No heat, no heart, just a world that's been frozen since we fell apart. Still shivering, still gray. It's so cold, cold like yesterday. I'm standing on the shoreline where the sand is getting cold, watching all the stories that we never got to hold. We used to be an ocean, deep and dark and wide, but now we're just the wreckage left behind by the tide. I reached out for your hand, but I only felt the spray as the anchor of forever started rotting away. Now we're just drifted hearts on a different sea, with 1,000 miles of water between you and me. No crashing of the timber, no screaming in the gale, just the quiet snapping of a tattered white sail. We didn't hit the rocks, and we didn't fall apart. We just let the current take a drifting part. The horizon is a silver line that's pulling us away, further from the harbor and in the warmth of the bay. I can see your silhouette getting smaller in the blue, until I can't tell the salt from the memory of you. We're moving in the silence, we're floating in the dark, searching for a flicker or a long lost drifting on. Two hearts gone. I'm walking through the grocery aisle, buying coffee for one, forgetting for a second that the wheel is all done. Then a song hits the speakers, a low familiar hum, and I feel the vibrations start to make my fingers numb. It isn't in the air, it isn't on the breeze. It's a ghost in my system, bringing me to my knees. It's the echoes under skin, the ones I can't erase. The phantom of your touch in a cold and empty place. You're a pulse in my wrist, you're a thrum in my chest, a restless kind of memory that never wants to rest. I can wash away the scent, I can throw away the ring, but I can't stop the echoes that your name starts to bring deep within. Echoes under skin. I try to rewrite the rhythm, try to change up the beat, but I still feel the shadow of you walking down the street. It's a cellular heartbreak, a physical goodbye that happens every morning when I open up my eye. You're stitched into the fabric, you're woven in the bone, the loudest kind of silence when I'm sitting here alone. They say that time is healing, that the scars will start to fade, but they don't know resonance of weight, ringing through the hallways of a heart that's second rate. Still humming, still there, like a static in the blood or a thickness in the air, ringing on under the skin. The echo of you, where do I begin? Echoes under my skin. I'm tracing the ink on the back of the door, the "I'll be right back" that you wrote once before. The pencil is silver, the graphite is thin, like the patience I've kept for the state that we're in. I'm washing the to let in the day, but I'm scrubbing the parts of you further away. Now I'm fatally yours, like a ghost on a glass, watching the seasons and shadows all pass, a name in the steam that fading away. The scent of your jacket is starting to change to a cedar and dust that feels heavy and strange. I'm practicing how not to call out your name when the sunset is lighting the hall like a flame. We're a radio station that's losing the range. Static and distance and a slow, steady change. Is there a word for the middle of gone, between the last star and the break of the dawn? I'm holding the handle, I'm turning the key, but there's less of you left in the center of me. Just a whisper, just a trace, a blur in the corner of a familiar place, faintly yours, until I'm not faintly. I'm sitting on the edge of the bed we used to share, watching how the sunlight hits the dust motes in the air. No shouting in the hallway, no slamming of the door, just a quiet understanding that we're us no more. I'm folding up your sweater, the one with the loose thread, thinking of the always that we both outgrown instead. Gently we end it, like a candle in the draft, the softest kind of breaking of a little wooden craft. No thunder in the distance, no fire in the sky, just the pulling of a tether and a low, steady sigh. It's a merciful heartbreak, a beautiful lie, how we drifted into pieces and a gently goodbye. You reached for your car keys and you looked at the floor like you were memorizing the handle of the door. I didn't try to stop you, I didn't beg you stay, because the heart of the story had already turned to gray. We're two different people than the ones in the frame, and it's nobody's fault, and it's nobody's blame. Is it harder to leave when there's nothing to hate, when just the click of the lock and the swing of the gate. So quiet, so dry.
The lamp in the corner is starting to blink, and I'm left with the dishes and too much to think. The shadows are long and the touch in your chair, but there's nothing but dust and a chill in the air. We used to be midday, a summer bright glare, and now I'm just reaching for what isn't there. It's a love in low light, a love in the gray, watching the coal bleed from the day. No flash of the lightning, no fire in the soul, just a slow-moving shadow that's taking control. We're flickering out, we're losing the fight, just a ghost of a feeling in a love in low light. Can't see your eyes, just the shape of your face, like a memory that's starting to drift out of place. We're whispering now, so we don't break the gloom, but the silence is filling up every last room. You're a silhouette moving toward the front door, and I don't recognize who you are anymore. Maybe the darkness is kinder than true. It hides all the damage and hides all the you. We lost in the process of trying to stay when the sun was already a lifetime away. Dimming down, gone cold, a story that's getting too heavy to hold in the low light. You're gone, just a shadow. In the low I'm holding our photo up against the light, and I can see the hallway right through your eyes. It's like the gloss is peeling, the colors are pale, just a scrap of a story that's starting to fail. We built this on promises, heavy and deep, but they were just secrets we couldn't quite keep. It was a paper thin forever, a fragile kind of trust. One little rain and we crumbled to rust. I thought it was iron, I thought it was stone, but I'm holding a ghost and I'm standing alone, just a fold in the middle, a tear in the sea of a paper thin forever and a cardboard dream. I'm packing the letters in a shoebox today, watching the old ways just wither away. The ink is so shallow, the edges are frayed, like the hollow foundations of the plans that we made. One gust of wind and the walls started shaking. It doesn't take much for a love that's in breaking. You can't build a home on a page that is torn. You can't find the heat when the fabric is worn. I'm reaching for substance, I'm reaching for you, but my fingers just push the whole memory through. No waves, no spark, just a scrap of a name in the dark. Paper thin forever, just paper. After all,
I'm looking at the sweater that you bought me last year. It's a little too tight and the edges are sheer. We used to fit perfect, like a lock and a key, but the space in the hallway is growing on me. I didn't see the distance, I didn't see the change, until everything familiar started feeling so strange. It's a softly outgrown, a quiet goodbye, like a garden that's thirsty beneath the gray sky. No screaming, no shouting, no breaking of glass, just the sound of the seasons as they silently pass. We didn't fall over, we didn't just break, we just softly outwrote every promise we'd made. I'm reaching for your hand, but The fingers don't lace, like a memory that's drifting and losing its place. You're two different people than the ones on the wall, and the house that we built is just feeling too small. It's nobody's fault, and it's nobody's sin, just the cold air of maybe where they always had been. Is it harder to leave when there's nothing to hate, when you're just two hearts bending under the weight? I'm packing the could be's and the used to be's too, 'cause I've simply outgrown the version of you. No more room, no more breath, just a slow motion fading, a beautiful death. Moving on, moving out, softly outgrown, beyond the shadow of doubt.
I'm holding the Polaroid up to the light, trying to keep the edges from turning to white. But the sun is a thief and the years are a blur, and I'm losing the us in the places we were. I can still see your smile, but the color is thin, like a house that the winter is finally in. I'm gripping the memory, I'm locking the door, but I can't find the forever we promised before. It's a slow motion ghosting, a wash of the gray, as the best parts of you start to wander away. I'm reaching for substance, for something to hold, but you're slipping like water and turning to gold. Still you fade, still you fade. Your voice in my head is a radio song, with the signal too weak and the static too strong. I try to remember the scent of your skin, but the smell of the rain is all that gets in. I'm tracing your name on a window of steam, but you're dissolving like the end of a dream. Is it worse to be gone, or to slowly go pale, to be a story that's losing the strength of the sail? I'm fighting the shadows, I'm fanning the spark, but I'm just a silhouette lost in the dark. Transparent, translucent, a heart in a state of a quiet. staying soon, chasing the shadow of a paper white moon. I kept every promise you didn't quite make, like a glass in my hand that I'm waiting to break. We're a book on the shelf with the pages all stuck, a heart that's run out of its beautiful luck. It's the loneliest maybe I've ever known, a garden of seeds that were never quite sown. Not a yes, not a no, just a ghost in the hall, waiting for someone who won't ever call. I'm drowning in almost, I'm freezing in the loneliest maybe of a Tuesday night. I'm reading the text where you said we'll see, as if you were testing the weather on me. You're half out the door, but you're holding the key, keeping a tether on the wreckage of me. It's a merciful no that I'm begging to hear, instead of this silence that's ringing so clear. Give me a storm or a bolt from the blue. Anything's better than waiting on you to decide if I'm worth the forever we planned, or just another perhaps slipping out of your hand. No goodbye, no stay, just a slow motion fading to gray. Still a maybe, the loneliest one, just maybe, until I'm done. I'm sitting in the kitchen where the shadows stretch and lean, staring at the space where your laughter should have been. I haven't moved your coffee cup, it's sitting by the sink. And the more I try to breathe it out, the more I start to sink. It isn't like the movies, there's no screaming in the rain, just a steady hollow thrumming in the center of my brain. It's the quiet ache, the one that doesn't make a sound, like a heavy winter snowfall hitting frozen ground. No crashing of the timber, no breaking of the glass, just a slow and steady counting of the hours as they pass. It's a weight inside my marrow, it's a coldness in the wake. Oh, I'm drowning in the rhythm reminding me that always was a lie I held so dear. I'm walking through the hallway, trying not to touch the walls, afraid I'll feel the ghost of you before the evening falls. You didn't leave a message and you didn't leave a scar. You just took the light and left me here wondering where you are. Sometimes I wish you'd shouted, sometimes I wish you'd fought, anything to break the silence of the lesson I've been taught. But you exited so softly, like a candle in the draft, leaving me to shiver in the wreckage of our craft. No more honey, no more home, just the static on the wires of a silent telephone. It's the quiet air, and it's all mine. So quiet, so still. I'm looking at the sketches that we started on the wall, a map of a future that we didn't build at all. The paint's still wet in the corners of my mind, on the someday and forever that we left behind. I'm a sentence with no period, a song without a key, staring at the chapters that you won't write with me. And now I'm just unfinished, I'm unfinished in you, like a bridge to an island that we never got through, a half-painted canvas, a house with no floor, a key in a lock of a wide open door. I'm a ghost of a story that ended too soon, leaving me hollow in the light of the moon. Yeah, I'm still unfinished, unfinished in you. I'm wearing your old sweater with a button hanging loose, trying to find a reason, trying to find a use. We were mid-conversation when you turned out the light and left me in the static
There's a suitcase in the hallway that's only half packed, a testament to everything the ending of us lacked. Is it worse to be broken or to never be done? To be a fading shadow of a half-risen sun? I'm a question you started and then just forgot. The maybe we were and the always we're not. No, the end, no goodbye. Just a tear in the page and a blur in the eye. Still waiting, still blue. Unfinished, unfinished in you.
The curtains are heavy, the windows are sealed. Protecting the wounds that will never be healed. I'm sitting in the armchair where you used to read, watching the shadows start to hunger and feed. There's a coat on the hook that I can't move away. A soft blue reminder of a much brighter day. It's a velvet silence, thick and deep, the kind of a secret that the lonely keep. It wraps around my shoulders like a heavy dark shroud, the ghost of your laughter where the room was once loud. No screaming, no crying, no violent break, just a velvet silence for a heart's heavy ache. The dust is settling on the keys of the piano. In a house that's forgotten the we and the you. I reach for the space where your hand used to be. But I'm just a prisoner who was told he was free. Every I love you is ground, no echoes, no sighs, just the velvet silence, closing my eyes. It's so quiet now, so quiet. I'm staring at the garden where the red used to burn, waiting for a season that is never gonna turn. The blue of your jacket, the gold of the heart is turning to a static that's beginning to fall. We used to be a sunset, a neon bright flare, but now I'm just breathing in the colorless air. It's the graying of the garden, the cooling of the light, the moment that the rainbow gave up on the fight. No sudden crashing, no thunder in the sky, just a slow motion draining of the us in your eye. We're a black and white movie of a love that was true. This is when we lost the color and I lost you. The kitchen is a shadow of the yellow it was before the silence settled and the always was a dust. I reached for your hand, it's translucent and pale, like a ghost of a canvas or a tattered white sail. We're fading into charcoal, we're bleeding into mist, until there isn't a single vibrant thing left to kiss. Is it harder to see it or to watch it go blind, to leave all the emerald and sapphire behind? I'm looking for the pigment, I'm looking for the spark, but everything's a different kind of hollow and dark. No more crimson, no more gold, just a silver cold story that's getting too old, fading out into the gray. When we lost color, just gray.
I'm standing in the kitchen, but I'm shivering in the heat, watching for your shadow at the edges of the street. The thermostat is climbing, but the air is getting thin. I can't find the places where the us used to begin. Your coffee cup is sitting in a pool of morning light, but it doesn't hold the fire that it carried through the night. Oh, tell me where the warmth went, tell me where it fled. Did it leave with every always that we ever should have said? I'm reaching for your sweater, I'm reaching for your hand, but I'm just a lonely ghost inside a winter hollow land. It wasn't a storm, it wasn't a blow, just a slow motion cooling of the love we used to know. The sheets are stiff and silver, like a field of fallen snow. I'm tracing out the footprints where you decided you should go. We used to be a furnace, we used to be a spark. Now I'm just a silhouette, shivering in the dark. I'm checking all the windows, I'm locking every door, but I can't keep the cold from creeping through the floor. Is there a leak in the ceiling, a crack in the wall, or did we just let the fire flicker out after all? I'm fanning at the embers, I'm begging for a glow, but you took the only sunlight when you told me you'd go. No fever, no flame, just the frost on the glass of a familiar name. Into the blue, into the gray, where the warmth went on a Tuesday in May. So cold.
I'm holding the edge of the sweater you wore, the one with a snag from the handle of the door. It started so small, just a loop out of place, like the first time I noticed the change in your face. I thought I could tuck it back into the knit, but the more that I touched it, the more that it split. This is where we unravel, thread after thread, losing the things that we should have just said. We were we just stumbled. I'm following the line where the pattern went wrong. Back to the verses of a much simpler song. But the fabric is thin and the colors are bled, and I'm left with a hand